Good afternoon, everyone. Listen, welcome. My name is Monique Denton, and I am the Chief Connector. I'm also known as the Command Coach. I am the founder and CEO of Embrace Your Cake and the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. So we were having some technical difficulties this morning. Just in case the screen is freezing, it's okay if you can still hear me. We are going to push through and we are going to move forward. Thank you so much for joining the Phenomenal Women Summit today. Let me just tell you, we have some dynamic speakers lined up for you today from 12 until 2. And then we are broadcasting again live tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. We'll be going straight through to 3 p.m. All of the women that are part of this summit are all women that are part of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. They're also women that are authors in our Phenomenal Women book anthology. A lot of the women have the pre-sale links up. We are super excited about this book, and we know we are hitting the Amazon #1 bestsellers list. So listen, if you are attending this summit, and if you're excited, because I'm excited, I need someone to put PW in the chat. And PW means phenomenal woman. I need you to go ahead and put PW. I'm a PW in the chat. Hashtag PW. Where are all of my phenomenal women? So what I want to do is just tell you a little bit about this project and why it's so near and dear to my heart. In February of this year, I lost my mom, who was absolutely a phenomenal woman. And one of the things that she used to do was always recite that poem to me, phenomenal woman, and tell me how phenomenal I was. So this project is a tribute, not just to her and her legacy and being a phenomenal woman, but a tribute to all of the women, and not just here locally. I mean, all of the women nationally and across the world who have overcome adversities, who have overcome obstacles, who are experts in their fields, who are entrepreneurs, who are business women, and who are absolutely phenomenal women. I see the PWs in the chat. Thank you so much. Again, I just want to apologize if the screen is freezing because we were having some technical difficulties this morning, but I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm happy about being a phenomenal woman. And every single woman on this broadcast is phenomenal. I want to bring to the stage one of our first speakers for the Phenomenal Women Summit, and her name is Scissor Kelly Chaplin. She is absolutely, and I'm going to say Lady Scissor, okay? Lady Scissor, also a coach. Lady Scissor is dynamic. She is absolutely dynamic, and we're excited. So, Lady Scissor, I am going to bring you to the stage. How are you today? Looking fabulous.
Hey everyone, I'm super blessed. Thank you, Monique. I am a phenomenal woman.
Absolutely. Look, phenomenal woman. We're going to say it all day today. Phenomenal woman, phenomenally. Scissor, thank you so much for being part of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. Also for being one of our phenomenal women authors. We are super excited to hear from you. We're excited to hear about your chapter, your story, and everything that you do. So I am going to leave the stage. Scissor, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Monique. Let me start off by saying, pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's the reach in my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl on my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, the hive of bees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flesh of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say, still can't see. I say, it's the arc of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally, phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care, because I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. That's a poem by the wonderful Maya Angelou. And I think it was just the best way for me to start my talk today. I greet you all in my language of isiZulu. I would say to you, Sanibonani, which means I see you. I see you even behind the screen. I see your hearts. I see your smiles. I see your beautiful faces. I see how phenomenal you are, just like me, because we are all phenomenal women. And for the men who are joining us, you are phenomenal too. We don't leave you out because we will not be phenomenal and be the best we can be without you having our backs. So I just want to base my talk basically on you are enough, phenomenal woman. You are enough, and you are perfect in your imperfections. So I just want to ask some hard questions, and I would love for you to, interact with us on the chat. And as I ask the questions or as I speak, whatever that touches your heart or your soul, please go ahead and comment below. So I want to start by saying, what does it mean to you to be a phenomenal woman? After reading Maya Angelou's poem, it left me wondering if this was the same as being like the Proverbs 31 woman in the Bible. The very definition of the word phenomenal, as we might all know, or if you don't, let me just tell you what it means. It means remarkable or exceptionally good. You heard me right. Remarkable or exceptionally good, which means you and you and you and you are remarkable and exceptionally good if you define yourself as a phenomenal woman. So, what does that mean, Lady Caesar? It means that you're extraordinary. You're a stunning woman. But guess what? Traditionally, a woman was considered phenomenal, when she had fair skin, an attractive figure, a BBL nowadays, flowing hair, you name it. I guess I think you understand what I'm trying to get at. Um, but I am here to change that narrative. And I would like for you to be a part of that change, because a phenomenal woman doesn't have to have all these labels because she's perfect. It's more about what she does with her imperfections. When you read about this Proverbs 31 woman in the Bible, I myself, and probably you see that she's imperfect in some ways, but she does what she needs to do for her household, her husband, her children, her community, and business. I've read the verses of the Bible because I'm also a minister of the word over and over again, describing this Proverbs 31 woman because I wanted so much to be like her. But so many times I felt like I did not meet up to her standards. I felt like I could not accomplish what she's accomplished. I felt like whatever she did was unattainable to myself. And probably some people who are listening to me today feel the same way or felt the same way. I don't feel confident that I could be all of these things that they list from the Proverbs 31 woman, and even the poem Maya Angelou beautifully narrates. I couldn't be all of this, all these expectations. But now I know that many of you feel the same way that I do and could be intimidated when you read about these superwomen and the women like the Michelle Obamas and the Oprah Winfreys of this world. It looks like yet another set of standards for us to live up to. Because, oh boy, society has just given us standard after standard. But listen, and listen very closely. The thing is, we must realize that it's God in God's word was not meant to discourage us. And if this scripture or chapter is in the Bible, it was meant to uplift us, to make us feel better. It means that whatever that God was portraying in this Proverbs 31 woman means that it can be attainable, right? It shows that we can do and we can have all this strength as long as we rely on the higher power, which I refer to as God. But it is not possible to have these qualities, characteristics, and virtues of this unknown woman in the Bible because they don't even mention her name. But she's still so phenomenal, just like you and myself, of course. I don't believe God would have given this example. That is why I'm so proud to be a part of this network called Sisters Inspiring Sisters, a network that is led by our visionary and beautiful Miss Monique Denton. We are a sisterhood of diverse, dynamic, powerhouse, like-minded women bosses. You heard me. We are bosses who are phenomenal in every way. We hold each other accountable. We network and help increase each other's brand awareness, just like how I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself later on. We redefine the traditional definition of what a phenomenal woman is because we understand our mandates. We have learned not to be caught up in what everyone else views as success or beauty, but we understand that you can be a phenomenal and imperfect woman because we understand that perfection does not exist. Whoever told you that it does, go tell them they lied. So we are learning that we are captains of our own destinies and we don't have to meet the world's unrealistic standards set by others. I am here to remind you, beautiful people, that you are enough. You are a phenomenal woman. You are perfect in your imperfections. You don't have to compete with the Joneses or even the Chaplins. Just remain your authentic self. The world needs the real you, not a duplicate of someone else. In my chapter, Perfectly Imperfect, which you'll find, of course, in the book, the 50 Phenomenal Woman, I quote Steve Maraboli, who says there is nothing more rare nor more beautiful than a woman being unapologetically herself, comfortable in her imperfections. To me, and I guess to him, but to me too, that is the true essence of beauty, close quote. So I encourage you to grab that book, a copy of the book. It's going to be out very soon on Amazon, but we as authors are also running a pre-launch sale. If you're interested in the book, please do reach out to one of the authors that invited you to the summit, because we will be glad for you to read all our phenomenal stories. But I also want to highlight that very soon, just be on the lookout, we will be advertising a promotion on Amazon, which will be fantastic and you don't want to miss out. So if you grab a copy for yourself, also grab copies for other people as well. In my
phenomenal woman. I just had to jump on because, first of all, you look fabulous. And starting us out with that poem was awesome. I'm going to jump off, but ask you, could you just tell us a little bit about your journey? Now, there's a journey, and I know that the women that are watching this broadcast will be blessed about your journey, the things that you've done and what you've overcome. So don't give it all away, but could you just tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are today?
Absolutely. Thank you, Monique. But just a little bit more about the chapter, because I really it lines up with my journey. I ask the reader very hard questions, questions that I've asked myself in my journey of being a phenomenal woman and living with the condition called alopecia. I ask them how they define beauty and how, if they are willing to seek approval from the world's definition of beauty. But if they are, what are they willing to do to stop this narrative? Because I've done that. I've asked myself questions and I've come up with a couple of answers, which I share in the book. And you got to grab the book to know what they are. But I write also on how I changed my view of beauty and how my alopecia of diagnosis over the years has helped me to come to love myself and to embrace every imperfection that makes me uniquely me. For those of you who are hearing me for the very first time, and for those of you who have heard me before, I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name is Sizagele Mdluli Chaplin, aka Lady Caesar, and I am a phenomenal woman. I'm a phenomenal woman because I have challenged the status quo that once defined me as an unattractive woman because I don't have the hair on my head, the long hair on my head. As you can see, I'm wearing my Cleopatra today, but underneath this Cleopatra is a bald scalp, which I'm very proudly, I proudly wear. I don't have the perfect figure. I'm not tall, I'm not fair skinned, and whatever else that society threw at us as beautiful. I struggled with all these definitions for a very long time. And I know that without a shadow of a doubt that some of you struggled through that, maybe are still struggling through that they have allowed society to define them. But I know also without a shadow of a doubt that I am beautiful because this is how I define a phenomenal woman. Are you listening? Come on, listening. I'm almost done. A phenomenal woman is beautiful, right? She has the inner beauty that comes from Christ, that is not diminished by her shape, her size, and the number on the scale. She's also confident and knows who and whose she is. Yes, yes, ladies. She does not allow herself to be reduced to the standards of others. Losing my hair more than 11 years ago to date nearly defined me, ladies and gentlemen. It nearly stole my identity of being a phenomenal woman or of just being a woman. It nearly stole my self-worth and self-esteem and even my life. Yes, I tried to commit suicide. And thank God I did not succeed because God had other plans for me. He says he has bigger plans for me, plans to prosper me and not to harm me. I know that now that losing my hair permanently to alopecia, which is an autoimmune condition that mistakenly attacks the hair follicles on my scalp and some other people, other parts of their body, thinking that it's bad for your health, going through and suffering through this condition, it made me to be aware of who I am. It has taken me to this journey that I am right now. But now I realize that it was not about me because what we go through is not about you. Don't make it personal. It's not about you. You find some people saying, but why me, Lord? But if not you, then who? That's the question I'm asking you today. Because I ask myself these questions too. But I now know that if it wasn't for this alopecia, if it wasn't for the hurt, if it wasn't for the shame, if it wasn't for the journey that I went through, I would not be the global alopecia ambassador that I am today. If it wasn't for that, I would not be the woman who stands in the gap and prays, mentors, coaches, and counsels women around the world who are struggling with hair loss issues. Because it might look easy and simple to one who has hair growing every day on their scalp. But for those who have lost their hair without choice, but by force, it is hard. It is a hard thing to swallow. It is a hard thing to get used to. That what you will never have hair on your scalp again. So I now understand that going through this journey has helped me to help these women, children, and even men to redefine their new normal of living without hair or of just being imperfectly perfect in whatever that they are struggling in. I would not be the global inspirational speaker that I am today, the author of Enough Already, Overcoming the Stigmas of Alopecia, which is my first book that you'll find on Amazon, and even co-authoring Lemonade Chronicles, which is launched even right as we speak. If you'd like a copy, please, please, please inbox me. I will be glad to give you a link and you can support me on that one. But more than anything, what I'm here for today, being a co-author of 50 Phenomenal Women that is being launched today, and would appreciate your support in these amazing books. All of them are important to me. But finally, in my chapter, Imperfectly Perfect, I share with you, the reader, 5 tips or reminders on how to embrace your imperfections. Of course, I'm not going to give it away. Don't worry, Monique. But I advise you and I encourage you and I urge you to grab yourself a copy for a friend, a family member, and whoever that you think would benefit from it. Us authors and everybody that has written and poured their hearts into this book would really appreciate your help. And we know that you will be touched. It will be a great, even Christmas stocking edition. So one of the reminders in my chapter is about how we can use our imperfections, or how our imperfections can end up being our superpowers. My superpowers, ladies and gentlemen, include and is not limited to being a global public speaker, as I already said, an author, a mentor, a coach, and a co-host of a podcast that I host with my husband, which is called Chilling with the Chaplains, which you can find on all podcast channels and on YouTube. So listen in, go in and check us out. Friends, I challenge you to take a moment and start to think about how your imperfections may actually be a part of your superpower. It could be your superpower arsenal. Think about it. I don't think I would have been anything that I've listed above if it wasn't for the weakness that I had through alopecia, through the journey that I had with alopecia. What do they allow you, that imperfection, that thing that's Paul describes as a thorn on his side, that you do well, that you may not have been able to do prior to whatever that's been bothering or is bothering you right now. I encourage you to dig deep. I encourage you also to start reframing on how you look at your flaws and your imperfections, but just embrace them and understand that they make you the unique person that you are. Know that there is nothing wrong with you, but in actuality, your imperfections make you the incredible and phenomenal person you are. You truly are you truly can embrace your flaws and discover that it is okay to be imperfect. So go ahead, friends. Go ahead, phenomenal woman. Be perfect or imperfect in your imperfections. Thank you so much.
SZA, thank you. That was so dynamic. Listen, imperfections are your superpower. Imperfections,
Yes.
and you're hearing this from a global inspirational ambassador. SZA, I want to thank you so much for that. And you need to know what's being said about you. So I just want to read some of the comments. This is very inspiring. Blessings to all. You're beautiful. God bless you. God saw you in your phenomenal elements and allowed you to be here and witness the beauty of you and in you. To God be the glory and your glory. Supportive snaps, Queen, for sharing your resilience. Ladies, another thing that I want to say to you quickly is each of us have a story. Each of us have been on a journey. Have you shared your story? Have you used your voice? Have you stood up in your total phenomenal self and introduced yourself to the world as the phenomenal woman that you are? When you think about your imperfections, if you think about what Lady SZA said, your imperfections are what makes you beautiful. Your imperfections are your secret sauce. Are you ready to stand up and show the world what your secret sauce is? And I'll just say this, show them what you're working with. right? Lady Scissor is showing us what she's working with. Lady Scissor, thank you so much. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being transparent in all that you do and continuing to share your story and be an ambassador for those that have certain challenges, including challenges with alopecia. All right, everyone. We are going to keep it moving, keep it moving. Thank you so much for joining us again. If we're having some technical difficulties and the screen might be freezing on and off, it's okay. We're going to keep going. We have a dynamic lineup of powerful women. So the next person that I want to bring to the stage is a person who we call, this is your transitioning from your 9 to 5 coach, right? And when you think about power, and when you think about what you have in you, and when you think about walking into whatever your purpose is, a lot of times you think that you have to do it alone, and you don't do it alone. You see phenomenal women work together. Phenomenal women that are part of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network uplift each other. We lock arms with each other. We provide resources to each other. But sometimes you need a professional that's going to jump on in and say, listen, I have that information. I have that secret sauce. I have what you need to move yourself forward. So, as I bring to the stage my sister, another member of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network, look, this lady right here, y'all better get ready to take some notes. Okay, get ready to take some notes. This is the founder of the Purposely Positioned Community, my sister, Miss Nashika Kelly. Nashika, I'm going to turn the stage over to you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so, what a start of this 2 day virtual experience, right? Like this virtual experience. It is so beautiful. I just want to make sure my screens are well. And so, Monique, let me just talk about Monique really quick, right? Because I want to thank her for and honor her because she's just so powerful. Anytime that I think about Monique, I literally think about purpose. She is the epitome of purpose. She will not let you stay small. Right? That's one thing Monique would not let you do, stay small. And so, Monique, I just want to thank you for having me on the platform. And so, as I speak today, I want to talk about as you hear these ladies go forth and share their stories, like the last lady that just spoke. My goodness. Like, as they are going forth, I want you to really do 3 things. And so I'm going to give you 3 things that you can focus on as you hear these women who have given God a yes, right? They have given God a yes in their assignment. So I admonish you to do 3 things. And so the very first thing is to be inspired. And so as you are hearing their story, I want you to think about and envision what is your story and your purpose that God is telling you that you need to tell. And so Monique just said that. She probably, is always mentioning that. But like, I want you to think about what is it that you need to share because you have value. Okay. And so be inspired from the stories that you're hearing, but also question yourself, what have I been placed on this earth to do for a time such as this? Because anything that you've gone through or going through is not by happenstance. There's a purpose in it all. And so I want you to think about that. Be inspired, okay? And so my prayer for you is that you go and do that very thing that God's going to reveal to you. And so the second thing is be motivated. I want you to be motivated. And so once you are inspired, right? And God is not a respecter of persons. So as you hear these ladies, they are becoming authors for the first time, or they may be, a multiple time author. But I want you to get in your spirit that you can do it too and be motivated by that, right? And so once you're inspired, then you have to move into motivation. Right now, I'm inspired. I know that I can do it, but now I need to get into action. And so what I want you to do is find the motivation. Okay, why am I emphasizing the word find? Okay, it's because we typically struggle with finding motivation. And so that's what you want to do. And so for me in my situation, I needed a literary coach. I needed Monique. right? I needed Monique to help me. Why did I need her? It's because I knew that my thoughts, right? I needed some guidance through the whole process of it. And so because I wanted to stay motivated, I knew that I needed to reach out and get the help and find that person. And so Monique has been that person for me, which I'm very grateful of. And so I want you to think about it as, at the beginning of the year, people create these New Year resolutions. And so most of them are fitness or eating healthy or something like that. And so think about it. Let's go on this journey that I'm sharing with you with these top 3 things from like a fitness area, right? And so the very first one is being inspired. You're like, oh, you see something. This is, I want to be healthy this year. You're inspired to do it. And then so motivation, you find someone to help you stay motivated. Well, who is that? That's a personal trainer, right? Like personal trainer that's going to help you get through your workouts. Because if you're anything like me, you'll do those 5 burpees and they say, whoo, I did enough for the day. And you'll be out of the gym, right? And so you want to find the people that are going to help you build, right? Build your purpose. And so the third thing is you want to be transformed. So first thing is inspired, second thing is motivated, third thing is transformed. You want to be transformed. So scripture says you want to renew your mind daily, but it doesn't just say renew your mind. It says with the truth, because a lot of times we are taking thoughts that are not true, right? This is why we haven't been able to step out into our purpose. Okay. And so renewing the mind is your first step of being, that's important, being purposely positioned. Okay. And so being purposely positioned is my forte. That is my purpose. My purpose is to help women get purposely positioned. Okay. Getting purposely positioned. And so I help women that want to leave their 9 to 5 and start their own business or get purposely positioned, right? Answering that God-given assignment, that God-given vision that God has clearly given to them, but they're just not stepping out for whatever reason. And so I help them get positioned in that. Okay. And so I do this by helping them with the one thing that everybody needs when you're in transition, and that is a clear exit strategy. So I help you build a clear exit strategy. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. And so most of us know the discomfort and the reaction of making a decision out of your emotions. We know that that's not a good thing. It feels good in the moment. It's temporary. You make a decision, but we don't want to do that. And so I want you to write this down. Your emotions are great assessors. They assess the situation. Your emotions are great assessors, but they are terrible, terrible managers. And so you don't want to let your emotions control the decisions that you make. Okay. And so when you're getting purposely positioned, it's all about being very clear, being super, super, super clear on your vision. Okay. Being super clear on your vision. And so you want to make sure that there is nothing, right, left out of your vision. So I get a lot of women that come to me and say, I've already written my book. Now, how do I get it out to people? And I just say, that was supposed to be in your vision. That comes along in your vision. All of that, right? The pricing of your book, all of the things need to be in your vision. And so working with me, what I do is I help you get so clear about your vision that you're not allowed to say, if someone asks you about your vision, you won't say, let me think about that. No, you would know exactly, because you would not have any afterthoughts. Okay. Afterthoughts, no afterthoughts. Okay. And so, because all of that is included in your vision. The second thing is who and how you are showing up in the world. That is very important to get in purposely positioned. How are you showing up in the world, right? Are you consistent, right? Are you reliable? And so it is being who you are and being who you want to become. It's all about your being. It's not the actions that you're taking. A lot of people think it is. It's a part of it, but it has everything to do with who are you being? Who are you showing up as? Okay? And so I help women get the results that they want by being the person. Because a lot of times we're creating from this current mindset that we have, and you are not stepping into being the person you want to be. Okay. And lastly, leaving your 9 to 5 should not be an emotional decision. We've already made that very clear, but it should be God led. It should be something that you receive from your creator. God will tell you when is the perfect time. And so I work with a lot of women who want to start their own business, right? And so I can help you build out your business. But as far as leaving your 9 to 5, you want to make sure you consult with your heavenly team. And so I help you hear very clearly from God on that. And so that is so important. It is so important. You want to make sure that you are hearing very clearly from him. And so I'll share a little bit about me. And so for me, I was forced out of my 9 to 5. I was forced out, I got laid off, and was forced into entrepreneurship. And so I had already knew that God was telling me what I needed to do and the impact that I would make on this earth. However, it took me a year, 1 full year, to fully step out. And so in purposely positioned, it does not take you, it shouldn't have to take you a year. And so I have a mentorship where I am helping women walk out the proper steps and hearing clearly from God so that it doesn't cost them that same amount of time. Right. And so that's the thing about having a coach or a mentor, is that they've already gone before you. You don't have to go through those things, right? Like those hurdles don't need to be your hurdles. And so I am your faith mentor. I partner with you in faith that you are hearing very clearly from God. And so this is why I built this community of women that put God first and that are winning and getting real results, real results. Okay. And they're getting purposely positioned by creating a clear exit strategy. And so they're having a clear vision. They're being the person. They're showing up with that boldness and that confidence, unbothered by outcomes and unattached to how others perceive them. Okay. And so that's what we are doing. And so I just wanted to share that, that the book that I am working on, Monique, right now, it's called Purposely Positioned: How to Leave Your 9 to 5 with Grace and Ease.
Wow. Nashika, first of all, thank you so much. I hope everyone, look, phenomenal women, are you purposely positioned? That's what I need to know. If you're purposely positioned and you know that you're purposely positioned, I need you to put a hashtag PP in the chat. So look, that's a personal thing, because those that aren't a part of the summit or on the summit, they won't know what these initials mean, but I'm telling you, put a hashtag PP in the chat if you are purposely positioned, if you are ready to get purposely positioned, if you are ready to move into your God-given assignment and step into that phenomenal woman that you are. We are all phenomenal women. I see the hashtag PPs in the chat, purposely positioned. Nashika, thank you so much, because one of the things that's so important that you pointed out is, are you walking in your God-given assignment? You know, all of us have an assignment. All of us have an anointing. All of us have a special secret sauce. And are you moving forward in whatever that is that God has led you to do, that God has telling you to do? Nashika, thank you so much. You can find Nashika on social media, Nashika Kelly. If you are interested in starting to prepare yourself to transition from that 9 to 5 so you can be purposely positioned, I definitely recommend that you reach out to Nashika. Now, we are going to keep this moving. Look, this is the Phenomenal Women Summit. And if you were here in the beginning, you heard how SZA started off. And SZA talked about being phenomenal. And SZA started off with the poem Phenomenal Women by Maya Angelou. So as we keep moving forward, I want you to continuously remind yourself how phenomenal you are. After this summit, I want you to put some Post-it notes around your house, in your bedroom, in the bathroom, on your mirror, just saying, I'm a phenomenal woman. Keep telling yourself that. I need you to feel this thing. I need you to walk into this thing. I need for it to be a part of who you are. Phenomenal woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. So we are going to keep it moving, keep it moving. We have our speakers and the lineup in the back office. Our next speaker that I am going to call to the stage is Miss Cassandra. Miss Cassandra, are you ready? Just give me a hand wave if you're ready. Absolutely. Miss Cassandra Phillips is also a member of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. Absolutely dynamic speaker and an author. Miss Cassandra has a book of poems that will blow your mind. When I tell you, it speaks to every being of a woman. Cassandra, thank you so much for stepping up. Thank you for being the phenomenal woman that you are. And thank you for participating in this summit and being a part of the SIS network. I'm going to pass the mic to you.
Good afternoon. Blessings to each and every one of you. Thank you, Monique. I truly appreciate you giving me space on this platform. I am so happy to be here with these other phenomenal women. Shout out to all of my sisters that came on before me. I just enjoyed everyone that I have heard so far. Okay. And I just want to say, sometimes it's hard to even believe that you're a phenomenal woman because, everybody has different upbringing and backgrounds and stuff, and we've all dealt with different types of issues. And sometimes the self-esteem is just not there. And you can't, if people are telling you, oh, you're beautiful, or, you, girl, you strong, you this, that, but you don't see it. Everybody else sees it, but you don't. So it really is a hard task. But as the Bible teaches us, whose report are we going to believe? We're going to believe the report of the Lord, because you know what? The Bible tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are made in his image. And we know that the Bible teaches us that he said when God made everything, it was good. It has been man that will have you looking at second guessing yourself, have you looking at thinking, oh no, I'm not skinny, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too bald, I'm too black, I'm too light. It is the world that teaches you that. But the Lord said you were perfect. When he made you, it was good. So we have to get on that type of, we got to get on the same plane as the way the Lord thinks of us. It's not about what man thinks about you. It's what the Lord thinks of you. And let me just throw this in there. It's not even what you think about yourself, because we are our own worst enemy. We will criticize ourselves so much. And when people tell you that no, you can do this, you still have that inkling doubt in the back of your mind that keeps you from doing what you can do. You know you can do it, but that doubt stays in your mind. But you know what? Whose report, once again, are you going to believe? I'm going to believe the report of the Lord. I thought for a while that I was not worthy, that I didn't deserve, but you know what? It is a new era. Because if he said that everything, he's going to give it to me, long as I believe him, I got to start, and I have started to believe in the Lord. I tell you, I am so glad to be a part of this. And this just lets me know that when you are with or connected, let me say, when you're connected to some real sisters, oh my gosh, you don't know how that just helps you out, how it just helps you soar. As Isaiah told us, we will mount up on wings like eagles, and we can soar. But you know what? You have to be with the right people. Let me say that again. You have to get with the right people, because a lot of times when you are with those that think like you're going to stay in that area that you can't do it. Oh, why you want to do that? Nah, come on. You can't do that. We have to step up above where we are. We got to get up to that next level. All right. And I heard someone say that if you want to soar high, you got to fly with the eagles. You can't stay down there with the pigeons. You don't see eagles walking around on the ground just pecking at anything. That's for pigeons. But when you are ready to soar and do bigger things, that's when you fly with the eagles. You hang out with eagles. Like they tell you, people that have a broke mind mentality, why are you even hanging around with them when you know that you can go higher? You have to get around those people that are thinking higher, that are doing bigger things. And that is for sure. A lot of times we're the ones holding ourselves down. But let me tell you something. It's about soaring and getting past your insecurities and moving on and believing what the Lord said. He said you can, so you can do it. We have to have the mindset of I can do it. I have an ebook coming out soon where I'm dealing with that mentality, and it is called Can We Talk? Whole on the outside and shattered on the inside. It deals with being a child of divorce, and the Lord put that in my spirit to write. And I said, Lord, I know I can't be the only one, because a lot of people that have their parents split up, you stay in that childlike area. And a lot of us have not dealt with that. So this is the reason why I am writing this ebook. And like the young lady before me was saying, your purpose, are you positioned purposely? So I found out that that's my purpose, to reach out to those that are dealing with the same thing. And I have gotten such an understanding now. And I just pray that you will, if you know anybody that is going through that situation or may have said something. And that's what my prayer is for this ebook, is that those that have dealt with this and have not gotten past that era in their lives, they will read this and want to reach out, because my goal is to start a group, a therapy group for that. Because I said, Lord, I know it can't just be me. And that is for sure. So I am so looking forward to that. Also, I just wanted to tell, as Monique did point out, I am the author of this book right here, which is called I Need Help. I've been in a lot of anthologies, so I do have a writing background. I am an author. I am a speaker of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I am that jewelry lady. So I got you covered. If you are looking for some of that fabulous $5 fashion, I have you covered. And I am just so glad that the Lord has allowed me to realize my potential and become phenomenal. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate you.
Listen, snaps up. I had to refrain myself from coming on to your broadcast. I kept wanting to push the button and come into the broadcast because you dropped so many gems. And I just want to thank you for that. Absolutely a blessing. And when you said, whose report are you listening to? That was confirmation. Whose report, phenomenal woman, are you listening to? Those that are on the broadcast. When you talked about, and SZA talked about it, those imperfections and you listen to what other people say and what other people tell you, and you allow those things to dictate who you are and remove you from your phenomenal self. You told us, whose report are you listening to? So I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for your transparency, for your ministry. I want to go ahead and read some of the comments. And that ebook, look, we need to pick up that ebook. Can we talk? So phenomenal women are reflections of who they see. We are created in the image and likeness of God. Thank you, Queen, for displaying the beautiful, phenomenal woman you are. God is crowning you. Thank you. So the comments in the chats are blowing up. I want to applaud every phenomenal woman that is watching this summit. I want to applaud every phenomenal woman that took the time out to be here with us today. Cassandra, how can we stay in touch with you? Where can we find you on social media? How can we connect with you?
Yes. You can always go up. My Facebook page is Cassandra Walker Phillips. And then, of course, I have a Facebook page for the jewelry, which is Queen of Queens Bling, LLC. Okay. I also have my Instagram, which is Queen of Queens Bling. All right. And I will give you my email address is CASWALPH7@gmail.com. Thank you so very much. I am so, I am just so honored to have been on here. I thank the Lord for his grace and his mercy, how he has allowed me to just flourish. I have, last August, I celebrated 30 years clean and sober. I thank the Lord for, he is just so very awesome. Okay. And I love mentoring. I love networking, just the whole nine.
And you are a phenomenal woman. Absolutely. When we met, it's actually, we met during one of my first events, but absolutely phenomenal. So I just want you to know that in the chat, we have Can't Wait for the ebook. Your poems are therapeutic and a testimony. My Papa Lady. Listen, and multi-levelpreneur, okay? Multi-level entrepreneur. You don't just have to have one stream of income. This is how phenomenal women move. You don't just have to have one stream of income. So again, Cassandra, thank you so much for blessing us. Thank you for coming to the stage, and thank you for being a part of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. Ladies, this has been wonderful so far. We are going to keep it moving. Let me tell you, the speakers are in the backstage and they are ready. Phenomenal women, are you ready? Where are all my phenomenal women at? If you are a phenomenal woman, I need you to put hashtag PP in the chat. If you are interested in connecting with a group of dynamic, phenomenal women, I need you to go to sistersinspiresisters.com/membership. It's at the bottom of your screen. We are waiting for you. We are waiting to connect with you. We are waiting to share resources, opportunities, and collaboration. And if you're ready to have your voice heard and to share your story, reach out to the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. Now, I want to bring our next phenomenal woman to the stage, who's also a coach, a member of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network, and that is my sister, Coach Nina Monica. Coach Nina, how are you today?
Hello. How are you doing today?
Excellent. I want to thank you so much for being a part of the network and also for being a part of this platform today. I'm going to move on over and turn the stage over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Monique, for the opportunity. I remember when I met Monique, and one of the first things she said when she hit the stage was, phenomenal woman, that's me, phenomenal woman, that's you. So for phenomenal woman, that's all of you, that's all of us. And it's such of an honor when I met her a couple months ago. When I say I stepped in a room, and seen this woman filled with such grace. It was so amazing to have met her and to stay connected with her. So thank you so much, Monique, for the opportunity to be a part of your platform. With that being said, I'm going to jump into who I am. My name is Coach Nina Monica, and I'm your women's empowerment coach. I teach women around the world how to discover their God-given gifts. I have women a part of my tribe for the past 10 years, all the way from Gambia to Barbados, and of course, right here in the United States of America. I teach them how to set financial plans. I help them, I also assist them on how to create the life that they deserve to live, all by setting SMART goals so that they can enrich their lives. So I'm also the founder of Enrich Your Life LLC, which is a network where women around the world gather together. I teach them about business. I also assist them on how to set SMART goals. I also set them up on how to change their income brackets within 1 year. With that being said, who is ready to be free today? If you are ready to be free, then you should put your hands up. I know I'm putting my hands up because I'm ready to be free. That means free from all debt, free to spend your time as you please with your family and your friends and doing all the things that you enjoy about life. That means free to live the life that you deserve. So a little bit about the free framework. Let's talk about the free framework today. This is something I teach my mentees when they're part of my tribe. I teach them about the free framework. F stands for financial freedom goals. R stands reframe your mindset towards money. E is evaluate your goal and create steps to help you accomplish those goals. A lot of times when we're setting goals in our life, we don't understand why we're setting these goals, or we don't understand and look at the larger picture. And that buying a house means that you have to do a credit check. You have to save money. You have to do this. You have to do that. And a lot of times we don't do that. I remember a time in my life where I was not. So before I continue to give you the other 2 E's, I want to tell you a short story about my life and how I got into being an empowerment coach, empowering women, and also empowering us about our finances. I was a young lady, 19 years old. My mom passed away. I had my own 2 children at the time. And I was living down south. I was not living in New York City with my mom. So I decided to take the leap and move back to New York City to be with my mom while she was sick. During this time, my mom's health deteriorated. Within 3 weeks, my mom passed away of me being back up here. 3 weeks. So, of course, I didn't have a job. I didn't have anywhere to stay besides my mom's apartment. And I didn't have anything in savings. I was 19 years old. No one had taught me about being financially stable. And at any age, you can start being financially free. No one taught me about this framework that I'm telling you guys about today. So my mom passed away. My mom didn't have her life insurance in order. She didn't have any savings in order. She didn't have a will. So that lost us scrambling. That left us without a plan. So I said, I don't want my children to live that life. I don't want them to go through what I went through as a 19-year-old. I was the oldest of 4 siblings. So I had to take care of my siblings plus my 2 children. And if I had this freedom framework, or if my mom had the freedom framework, if she had the free framework, then maybe she would have done things differently. I don't fault her for those things. You know why? Because maybe no one taught her. So here I am to break those generational curses and teach the things that I was not taught to my family, friends, and to my children, and for the legacies to come. I know a lot of times we don't know who our great grandfather is, our great grandmother is, our great. You know why? Because there was no legacy left behind. No fault of theirs. They may not have been taught those things. So here I am to teach those things to the legacies to come, to my children, to your children, to you. Back to the framework. Free framework. Like I said, F is financial freedom goal. R is to reframe your mindset towards money. E is to evaluate your goal and create steps to accomplish your goals. E is to educate yourself through classes, courses, or of course, getting a financial coach. I work with a coach of my own. You know why? Because I want to be free. I want to be set to the next level. I want within 1 year my life to change and I can spend time with my family and my friends. And I know you want that for yourself as well. I'm not going to give you all of the framework. However, I'm going to give you some affirmations to live by so that you can start on the right track for 2023 and creating a mindset that you deserve. I am free from all debt. I am free from all debt. I am free from the poverty mindset. I am free from the poverty mindset. I am free from negative money experiences. I am free from negative money experiences. I am free to enjoy the financial abundance. I am free to enjoy financial abundance. I am free to create the life I deserve. That's my favorite one. I am free to create the life that I deserve. So I gave you guys a little bit of what it is that I do and who I am. And I just want to be clear, without the SIS network, none of this would be possible. You know why? Because you need a sisterhood. You need accountability partners around you. You need women to surround you and to hold you up when you're lacking. When you are not financially free, when you are not able to speak, when you're not, in your right mindset, when you've had things that things that have happened to you through your past that may still be affecting you, you need a SIS network. Trust me, you do. You need to be surrounded by women who are loyal, women who are honest, women who are transparent. Even in your finances, a lot of times we're ashamed to bring up our finances. But remember, there are people that are in the same position or even worse. But the smartest thing you can do is learn how to get out of those debts, how to become financially free. So joining the SIS network has been amazing. Ever since I met Monique and the women in her network, they have been so supportive. I'm so glad I met her. I'm so glad that she allowed me to speak on her stage on today. And what makes me a phenomenal woman? I'm hardworking. I'm dedicated. I'm beautiful inside and out. And so are you. I'm compassionate. I'm loyal. And all of these characteristics and more make up us all being phenomenal women. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Phenomenal woman, that is you. Thank you, Monique.
Wow. Coach Nina Monica, listen, okay. I need you to go over those affirmations again, those I am free affirmations. That was absolutely phenomenal. And again, part of what makes us phenomenal in this sisterhood is the transparency and sharing our stories, sharing everything that you had to do at the age of 19 and sharing the experiences that changed the trajectory of your life, of your children's life, and generations to come. But when you talked about those I am free affirmations, and I just want to also share with you really quickly some of the comments in the chat. I am free from negative money experiences. And one of our members on Facebook says, you're the phenomenal woman that stepped up and out on your superwoman outfit and saved more than a day, but a life of many. That is phenomenal in itself. Thanks for sharing and helping others. God's blessings remain over you. We have Thyra that said, that's right, I am affirmations. We have, I am free to create the life I deserve. Coach Nina, you blessed us, but I need you to go over those affirmations again.
I definitely will. It's an honor to, and thank you all for your comments and your inspiration and your encouragement. I am free from all debt. I am free from all debt. I am free from the poverty mindset. I am free from the poverty mindset. I am free from negative money experiences. That means all the things you experienced in the past, it don't even matter no more. What matters is here today. I am free from negative money experiences. I am free to enjoy financial abundance. You deserve it. I am free to enjoy financial abundance. I am free to create the life that I deserve. I am free to create the life that I deserve.
Wow. I hope everyone, and I wanted those to be repeated so we could write those down. I am free to create the life that I deserve. And I will take that a step further and say, be intentional with creating the life that you deserve. Be intentional with connecting with other like-minded women. Be intentional with putting yourself in the circle of women that you need to be in. If that means that you need to level up, then you need to level up. If that means that some of the women that were in your previous circles need to be left in those circles while you elevate yourself, you need to elevate yourself. If that means that you need to step into the phenomenal woman that you are, it's time that you step into the phenomenal woman that you are. And every single speaker, if you've noticed, has a business. Every single speaker has a business. How do we start to grow out of generational poverty and start to create and increase the wealth that we deserve and our families deserve? Is through ownership. And if it's not through owning real estate and property, it is through owning a business. Coach Nina, thank you, thank you, thank
Yes.
you. Look, even with the technical difficulties, I'm going to keep it moving because we are absolutely changing lives. We're changing mindsets. Thank you for being a part of the SIS network. Thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you.
We are going to bring our next dynamic speaker to the stage, also a member of the SIS network, also one of our authors, and that is Mrs. Luciana Griffin. Mrs. Luciana, are you ready?
I am ready.
How are you today? Thank you so much for gracing the stage. Listen, I'm not going to prolong this introduction. I am going to pass the mic to you. Again, thank you for being part of the SIS network. Thank you for all that you do, for being the author. Look, Amazon bestselling authors on the way, okay? Amazon
Yes.
bestselling authors on the way. LaShana, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to thank Monique. Just to show you and encourage our women, especially women of color, that we are phenomenal despite what obstacles we face, everything that we go through, everything that we've been through in our lives, the things that we say make us strong. It's just encouraging and such a blessing to be named among so many women and those of you that are to come. I first just like to say that this whole opportunity is a prophetic word that has actually been fulfilled in my life. Many years ago, when I joined maybe the second ministry that I was a part of, I was in the bookstore of the ministry, and this woman came in the store. Never seen her before, did not know her, and we just struck up a conversation. Not really talking much of anything. And she said to me, "Sister, you're gonna write a book one day." And I'm like, okay, because in my head at the time, I'm like, a book about what? What could I possibly have to offer to the world that someone would use their time, energy, and money to put into me to uh, purchase, to read? And many years had gone by, not knowing what I was going to experience. And here I am right now as one of 50 phenomenal women, a co-author in a book with many other phenomenal women. So let me just give you a brief introduction. My name is Luciana Griffith. I am 46 years old. I'm the mother of two beautiful children, Olivia and Isaiah. I am the wife of Trevon Griffith. We've been married for 19 years. I was a social worker for 24 years. And then I moved on to a different type of career. What makes me a phenomenal woman? I think we have to understand that being a phenomenal woman does not mean that we have to do something that's mind blowing or earth shattering or, a major experience, at least not by the standards that we would consider being phenomenal based on what we've heard about that word or how that word has been applied to other people. Are you the best person you can be in the capacity that you operate in every day? Are you a good mom? Are you a good wife? Are you a good friend? What do your friends say about you? Can people say that you're loyal? Can they say that you're authentic? You know, I know that I'm a phenomenal woman. I don't necessarily need anyone to tell us, but yeah, it does feel good to hear it. That's a love language, right? Words of affirmation. So sometimes we need to hear those things just, to give us a little push. But can you be confident in your own self and say, I am a phenomenal woman? Yes, I am a phenomenal woman. Why am I a phenomenal woman? Because I put time and energy into my children, and that has caused them to both be on the honor roll. Am I a phenomenal woman? Yes, because my husband loves me, especially when it's time benefits and that big word deductible shows up on the screen that we hate to see, and we have to figure out how to navigate how to make our life our health insurance work for us and for our needs. Sometimes we get so caught up in what others are doing and how we see them and what they portray and post on social media posts. And many times it's just a smokescreen to what's really missing, the substance in their lives. And trust, it's beautiful to see that you can celebrate Black love, or you go on vacation with your family, or big things are happening. Absolutely. But we shouldn't get caught up in those things if our lives, based on what we're doing, doesn't measure that. What are you doing? What are the people in your life saying about you? Can they say you're a phenomenal woman? And based on the things that I've heard thus far, absolutely. Yes, you are a phenomenal woman. So if I can just give you just a brief overview of my story. When I was 27 years old, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. From what I understand and what I know, there was no history of breast cancer ever in my family. I was our first diagnosed case that we know of. I had gone through several treatments. I had just purchased my new home. My husband and I had just purchased our home, and we had only been married 1 year at that point. So it was a little sticky because they always say, like, that first year of marriage, once you start living together and really seeing how your spouse operates, you got a whole lot of other dynamics that you need to manage and focus on. But with that caveat being introduced into the equation, it was a lot to deal with. And on top of that, my husband, 3 months after we had gotten married, had gone into end stage renal failure. So we were dealing with that. He was on dialysis. And I don't want to give away too much because I just want to leave a little bit of intrigue so that it would interest you in purchasing the book and just getting a bigger overview of exactly why I am a phenomenal woman. So it's been about 15 to 16 years now since I'm in complete remission. God has blessed me, like I said earlier, with two phenomenal children. They're amazing. And He continues to show every day. I heard someone say many years ago, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to change the room that you're in. Because oftentimes when you get so caught up in who you are, you don't realize that there's other schools of thought, there's other things out there that you should be exploring that God has already put in you to be able to manage once you get to that level. So I'm just grateful to have been around so many women. And I mean, I have to say, Cassandra and a few of the other women that came before me, I promise you, you guys were in my notes while I was writing it, and you had no idea. Somehow y'all were able to see what I was writing because everything that was said prior to me is exactly the thoughts that I was having. We need to surround ourselves around like-minded women. Great minds think alike. So we're all pressing forward to move forward, to be better women, to be better than who we were yesterday, to be better than who we were 5 minutes ago. And this is what we have to aim for. God always puts in you what you need to endure that thing that you're going through. And that's what makes him good. What makes him good is that he's good through the good and the bad. He brought you through whatever it is that you've gone through, whether it be divorce, whether it be financial struggles, whether it be a health issue. He's put in you what you needed to be able to endure that thing. And that's what makes him good. It didn't feel good while we were going through it, but it worked out for our good. And that's what the Bible tells us. All things work together for the good to them that love him and that are called according to his purpose. So don't think it's strange when you're going through things and you may not have the words to articulate and say that which you need to say to get through that thing. God has already put it in you. It will come out in due time. And I thank God for my line sister, Keisha Jones, who introduced me to this platform. She's an amazing person. She's always been amazing. And, that's another caveat. When you join certain organizations, you join it based on the platform that they've already presented, their goals, their ideologies, their focus. So I'm just so appreciative that God allowed her to come across my path, or us to encounter each other and introduce me to this. Monique is especially awesome because you can call her at any time and you get a text back, you get a phone call, you'll get an email. But sure enough, she's going to respond. And I appreciate the availability of the women and the transparency of us on this platform.
Let's see. Okay, my mic is unmuted now. Listen, you just totally blessed us, but I just jumped on quick and I'm getting ready to jump right off. You're not done yet because you mentioned something and you mentioned it real quick and then you kept it moving and took us to church real quick. But you talked about the beginning of a marriage, being diagnosed with breast cancer and having to go through that. And then you talked about the challenges that your husband was having. And I know that this is in your chapter, but I need you to give our viewers a little more because they need to understand. They need to understand the obstacles, right? And the adversities. They need to understand that when others said no, you said yes. They need to understand that you made a decision that this is not going to stop me or us. We're still going to have a family and we're going to move forward. They need to understand that journey, just a little bit of that journey that you went through and how you were able to get to where you are today.
Oh, absolutely. So, in 2003, my husband and we got married in May. And after a while, he had been showing signs, but we didn't know what was going on. I was just like, wow, babe, your feet are swelling. And he had gone to the dentist and, there was some issues there. And he had gone to the doctor and they had mentioned the doctor had said, listen, your creatinine level is really high. We don't know, we have to investigate and see what's going on. So those of you that are in the medical field that may know exactly what that means, the creatinine level is what it tells the functioning of your kidneys. So in a normal person, your kidney function should be no more than 1.3. My husband had a creatinine level of 32. So he had enough poison in his body to kill at least 5 people. And we didn't know what was going on because he was working. There was nothing incoherent about him. He was moving. We were going to church. My husband was one of the associate pastors in the ministry that we were in at the time. And there was nothing that indicated that there was any issues. So they had to do an immediate entrance for him to start dialysis. So prior to that, the doctor had said, if you don't get to the emergency room immediately, you have exactly 6 months to live. So hearing that as a 27-year-old newlywed is like, I'm sorry, 6 months. We've only been married 3. So are you telling me that I can be a widow in less than a year? So needless to say, we immediately got to the hospital. They started the procedure, to begin to get him well. And to remove the poison from his body. In the meantime, we were also planning on purchasing a home. We were living in Brooklyn. He had a 1-bedroom apartment. Thank God for deliverance, because I didn't know how long I could stay in Brooklyn. But we decided we were going to purchase a home. We did what we had to do to make sure that that happened. Within a year, we purchased our home. And September of 2004, after we were already moved in and settled in, I got the news that I had been diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was a harrowing experience. Again, we made a decision that we were going to persevere and get through this. We had an amazing support system, from our church to our family. My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she was amazing. My mom and many other family members who rallied around us to make sure that we were okay and we had the things that we need, because it was just the two of us. I went through many months of the treatment of chemotherapy and radiation, and other treatments subsequently and in between, to make sure that I would stay in remission. And, God showed his faithfulness throughout the whole thing. There were many other health concerns that came up, as far as my ability to conceive. Fertility issues became a concern, and God again showed himself faithful. And he allows us to go through things because he's already put it in us. We have strong family members. My grandmother, she was amazing. And I often say that I pull from the strength that she passed down through my DNA. But I thank God for putting it in her so that it's able to be a generational blessing. Because sometimes we get those curses, and we can't break those curses. But I thank God for the generational blessings, and we don't hear that often, because in our culture we are so boggled down with the negative and how we, things that we've had to persevere, but we never hear about the blessings, the good things. Yeah, I'm grateful that I was able to sit in the kitchen and help her and watch her cook. So that way, when it's time for me to cook for my family, I already knew what to do. Generational blessing. The strength that I knew that I had to lean and depend on God, generational blessing. And we don't often say that. So yes, God has been good, and I hope that was enough. I hope that blessed you.
Here's my mic again. Generational blessings. I just want you to know that blew up the chat. Generational blessings. Another one of our Facebook comments. So yes, always something for you to learn and expand yourself. Powerful story. It worked out for our good. Thank you so much. Thank you again and I always say this, it's not easy to share your story, right? Because you think about not wanting to look vulnerable or not wanting people to know what you've been through because of where you are today. But if people knew some of those been throughs, if women knew some of those been throughs, when people say, I don't look like what I've been through, I'm standing here today, I don't feel like what I've been through. And I remember a couple of weeks before my mom passed, we were talking and she was asking me how things were going. And I was telling her how things were going. And I'm like, well, Mom, this is going on and this is going on. And she said, daughter, she was like, you wear it well. You don't look like what you're going through, and you don't look like what you've been through. But sometimes if we can share these stories with other women to empower them, to let them know that this is temporary, this is a season.
That's right.
Temporary. It's just the season. And when you look at and you hear from some of our members, and when you hear from Luciana and you know that the things that you went through, it was just a season and it was preparing you for where you are today. So my sister, blessings to you. Blessings to you. That chapter is going to be dynamic. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, the chapter is dynamic. We're not going to say anything else. Y'all have to look. Y'all have to read the story. When I tell you it's good, it's good. When I tell you it's going to bless you, it's going to bless you. Luciana, thank you so much for being a part of the network, for being one of the phenomenal women authors, and for blessing us all the time. Every single time you step up to the stage and you speak, you always pour out a blessing. So thank you.
Thank you
All
so much. God bless you, ladies.
Listen, this has been so good. I mean, we have heard from some dynamic women. We still have more speakers lined up in the back office and ready to go. I want to bring our next speaker to the stage, and that is another SIS Network member, Miss Precious Stevens. I'm going to ask her to turn on her camera, turn on her microphone. Not only is Precious an author, okay, powerful author, powerful story, a dynamic speaker, a 7-figure entrepreneur, and member of the SIS Network, Precious is someone that has created multiple revenue streams. So when you say phenomenal woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman, that's me. Look, phenomenal woman. That's that sister right here. Precious, welcome. I'm just going to remove myself so you can go ahead and take the stage.
Thank you, Monique. Definitely. Thanks for having me. As always, I'm always honored to be a part of anything you have gone on. Like since I've been introduced to you and since I've met you, it's just been onward and upward. And we had some exciting things going on, including this anthology that I'm super, super excited about. So just in case you're like, who is this young lady? I am Precious Stevens, and many people do know me as the Draping Queen because that was my breakout business. That was my breakout business that changed my entire life and my entire concept of what life is really supposed to be like. So in this book, I thought it was ironic that it came at this chapter in my life, and because for, I guess, a very long time, I was living a basic life, right? And so you would hear the things, you are phenomenal, you are anointed, you are all these things, but it really don't matter if you don't feel that way about yourself. And so I didn't. And the reason being is because I felt as if I was just existing, guys. I just was going through the motion. I just was pretty much going and doing whatever was necessary for me to get through that day. And it got to a point where I just was so unfulfilled. Like, this cannot be life. And I don't know if that was just mixed with experiences as well as hitting that approaching 40, you kind of get anxious, like, what is going on with my life? But again, I think it was just phenomenal that I was, approached with this opportunity, because how I see myself now, absolutely. Yes, I am a phenomenal woman. I really am. And I feel that to my core. And it took me a lot of self-development. It took me a lot of learning myself, right? I had to learn myself to realize you're not crazy. You are phenomenal. But for the longest time, I was like, why do I have these urges that I deserve and desired something better? And I just couldn't figure it out. And then that would lead to, you can't tell nobody because then you're crazy. Like, they would look at you like, why are your dreams so big? And I look at them like, well, why yours are not? So needless to say, being a part of this book was great. A great experience because it also allowed me to even dig deeper, right? Writing my chapter is called The One to Watch. And it just was a humbling experience because I am always the person to play humble. Like, when someone gives you accolades or they tell you how much of a great person you are, how much you help them, how valuable you are, you like, yeah, thank you. But it's like, no, it's like, this has to be coming from somewhere. So I'm just glad that now I'm able to own it. And not only that, but utilize it to help others. So the whole chapter about the one to watch is because when you look at someone and you see them in this successful light, you tend to think that it's unreachable, right? And that is the furthest thing from the truth. So all I do now is really share my processes and share my story, because it has happened and I was able to achieve a small level of success in a very short amount of time. And the reason why that is possible, because I've done the work. And when I'm talking about the work, I really found out what my passion was, right? A lot of us are taking our natural talents and our gifts and we taking them straight to the grave, or we're burying them because we running around playing super mom or super wife or executive CEO to whatever it is, and you're not really walking in your own purpose, right? So me really figuring out what my passion was like the brink of some life altering stuff, right? But you can't just leave it there. So not only discovering what my passion was, I had to pair that with some grit, right? One thing about me, I have the willingness to go and do whatever it is I want to do. Now, for the average person, it may look like she got a lot going on. But to me, I look at it as if I want to do it. And I don't want to go to the grave or be sick or unable and then wondering how would it turn out? How would that experience felt, right? I'm here to experience all the things. And I love taking people on my journey because not only it empowers them to step in their truth and live in their truth and discover what their passion is, but I'm also able to provide the framework, right? At least the framework that has worked for me because it's my proven strategy. So I get really excited about that because a lot of us, we don't even know what our strengths are, right? We don't. I didn't know what my strengths were. I just know I was great at a lot of things, but really finding out what your strengths are and then also being privy to what your weaknesses are and then putting the support in place to really support that is what has helped me grow a lot faster, right? We run around trying to wear all the hats. Ask me how I know, because I wore all the hats. And until I was able to realize what I'm supposed to do, which is operate in my zone of genius, which is serve others, which is to give back, right? Be transparent, do all the things. Only then was I able to find any kind of fulfillment, because that is what I was on the search for. I was on the search for fulfillment. And when I say on a search for that, it kept me complacent, guys. It kept me stuck and broke, right? So now I get excited about being able to transition from, that's pretty much my story, a $14 an hour paying job to $14,000 a week. It just was a slight shift in my mindset is where really what created the change. So in my chapter, that's pretty much what I shared with you guys, right? Not only my steps of what it took for me to get here, but also how I was able to create the change, right? Because I am, and I know a lot of us are, we get in our own way, right? We tend to stick with what feels safe, right? We tend to put these parameters in place. Well, if this doesn't work, baby, sometimes you just got to go for the gusto. I'm trying to tell you at the end of the day, when you're operating and you're doing your life's work and you're walking in your gifts and you're using them to help others and to serve, it's just totally life-changing, right? So I'm sharing with you guys in my chapter, not only my passion and how I actually discovered it, right? But also my strengths, like what areas was needed for me to, even if it was weak, either I strengthened that area or I gave it to somebody else. I'm like, I'm not great at this. I still need it done. So you have to be able to delegate, right? Then also using the things that are great about you and using it to using it really to take you to that next level. I have an amazing personality, right? So if I know that my personality is one of the things that attracts people to me, I'm going to input it into my coaching programs. I'm going to instill it into my masterclass. Because that is the thing, right? That's one of my superpowers, right? I am a real personable, relatable person. And so you don't really realize what your superpowers are until you start paying attention and then listening to the people. When people give you any kind of sentiments or say you're great at something, don't be so humble and be like, okay, thank you. Own it. It's coming from someplace, meaning that is your strength, right? So pay attention to those kind of things. And then I also, baby, this is a good one. I had to understand my worth. Me not understanding my worth kept me in a lot of unhappy and unfulfilling situations, right? Now, that is not going to happen. I am quick to say a fast no before I say a slow yes. And I love operating in that space because I'm so peaceful now. I'm not running around poking my lips out because someone has said something. Like, no, I no longer give people the permission to treat me any way other than I would treat them. So really I'm just covering all the things that I have done up until this point, because guess what, guys? The work has not stopped. I am still on this journey of becoming the better version of me. And I'm excited to see where she's going to be at next year or the next 3 years, right? And until that happens, I'm going to show up every day practicing her, because I am not her yet. But if I just practice every day about where I want to be, I'm going to get there a lot quicker. So I'm really all talking about like ways to motivate you guys to move at the end of the day. My key word is shift. The reason being because people always relate to, would tell me like I'm a thermostat or something, and this word shift. And I'm like, okay, let's look that up. And to really find out the actual meaning of shift, meaning to move or to create movement, right? And I do both. If it's something I want to do, I am going to move and I'm going to act on it, right? Also, I have the ability to cause people to do the exact same thing, which is why I want you guys to read the chapter, because I want the same thing for you. Precious Stevens, and that's my time.
Precious, okay. First of all, I have to do an exercise. You always show up and show out all the time, but for the women on the broadcast, I mean, I just need you to put a heart in the chat if you heard when Precious said $14 a
hour. Yeah, I mean, that was just, I left my job. That was my salary for maybe 6 or 7 years. And I was so comfortable with that. The reason being because I was living within my means, which at that time, from where I'm from, the rough streets of Baltimore, baby, I was good, right? But because I didn't know any better. I didn't have access to any better. I didn't see any better, right? And it kept me like, long as I could pay my bills and take care of my kids, I'm okay. But it was just that alone just led to me having this feeling like this can't be it. It got to be something greater than getting up, going to work, half depressed, coming back home, making dinner, going take the kids to practice, coming back home, eating dinner, kikiing it up a little bit, having my nightly cocktail because I couldn't sleep. Like that was so depressing. It was on one end, you're happy because you have that family element, but then on another end, it's like, I want them to have more. But like, how the heck am I going to get it? How am I going to get that? So it's like, I got super hungry and I was like, no, that was my rock bottom. I was like, it has to be, I got to get out of here. I have to get out of here.
So good. And again, I talk about transparency, but I also like to ask the women that are on the call or on the chat, if you can do another favor for me, if you can go ahead and put in the chat, if you listen, Precious affirmed herself a few times, right? And a lot of times we don't do that. We don't toot our own horn. I need you to put in the chat something that you are great at. I need you to put in the chat an affirmation to yourself, whether it's I love myself, whether it's I'm good at baking. I need you to put in the chat something that you are great at, whether it's
put it in the chat.
Thank you so much, everyone. We are having, yes, we have dynamic women. We have hearts. We have amazing. We also have in the chat, when we know better, we do better. Maya Angelou, your testimony is so inspiring. I'm great at encouraging. Thank you, Facebook. I'm great at encouraging. What are you good at doing? I don't see enough things in the chat. I need it in the chat. I need it in the comments. Whatever platform you're on, I need you to toot your own horn and write down and let us see what you're good at. I'm a great speaker, right? I'm a great chef. Here it is. I'm a dynamic speaker. Thank you, Cesar. I'm great at encouraging. Thank you on Facebook. What are you good at? Right? What are you good at? And then the other thing that Precious said is, what do people tell you that you're good at? What do you get compliments on? What is it that you do and someone is, or whether it's that potato salad, okay? Listen, I'm going to give for me, I don't cook on a daily basis, but at Thanksgiving, I throw down, okay? So they look forward to my potato salad, but what Precious is laughing at me. I'm serious. What is it you're good at? Okay, I am great at writing. I am great at organizing. I have vision and an inspiring speaker. Listen, all of these things that you are good at, it's time to take all of those skills, abilities, expertise, and put them to work. Aisha says, my personality, spirit, and my knowledge. That's what I'm talking about. I am a great cook. Look, to your own horn. What are you good at? Show up as that person, right? Show up as that phenomenal woman. Precious, really quick, before I let you go, well, you have an event coming up in January. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I do. This is actually my very first conference I'm putting on with some dynamic speakers. And it's in the beginning of the month. It's all about empowerment, but not only empowerment, like I told you guys earlier, we have the tools that are available and ready for you guys to now apply action. At the end of the day, it's one thing to have your natural gifts and all this empowerment and excitement, but if you don't do nothing with it, what's the point? So we have the tools to help you guys get to that next level in business, whatever that next level is for you guys. At the end of the day, key word is shift, meaning move.
Thank you. And where can we find information at? How can we find out more information about the conference?
It'll be on my website, just www.preciousstevens.com, and we will be uploading all that information probably early next week.
Thank you so much. And you know, the SIS Network, we are here to support you. We will be in the building. We're looking forward to the information, and we're also going to share. Precious, thank you so much for always, again, showing up and showing out.
Thank you. But I also want to say, as one thing a lot of us talk about, but we fail to do, is connection and collaborate. Guys, I am a member of the SIS Network. And since I've been in the SIS Network, I have had so many opportunities awarded me, as well as great partnerships. So definitely you see it going across the screen. It is definitely a great membership to be a part of.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you so much. And again, like Precious said, if you are ready and if you want to join a sisterhood of dynamic, like-minded women that are on these calls, entrepreneurs, professionals, expertise, coaches, speakers, authors, if you're ready to step into your greatness, it's time to get connected. If you're ready to collaborate, and it's across the bottom of the screen, Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. sistersinspiresisters.com/membership. So as we move along, and thank you everyone for sticking with us today and through our technical difficulties, I want to call up another one of our dynamic speakers to the stage. So I hope Miss Lachey is ready. And Miss Lachey is not only a member of the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network, but also one of our dynamic authors in the Phenomenal Woman Book Project. Lachey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for saying yes. And I'm going to move one off the stage and turn the mic over to you.
Thank you so much, Monique. And to everyone, I want to say hello on this fantastic Friday. To the SIS Network, to my family and friends that are watching, any of the communities that I'm a part of, I do want to say thank you for coming and joining and just being supportive of us. My name is Lachey Stevenson. I am honored to be a keynote speaker for today and on tomorrow. I would be remiss if I didn't say to these women that stand beside me and refuse to never surrender, and to my family and to my God, they have made me the person that I am today through many trials and tribulations, through the deaths of loved ones, through losing a child, and many, many other things that I'll discuss with you on tomorrow. Thank you for being a part of my life and for helping to contribute to the phenomenal woman that I have become today. For me, I guess I'll start with being a phenomenal woman, what it means to me. It's loving people as much as I love myself. It's about being a positive light. It's about fostering those relationships along the way. it's really a pleasure and an honor to be able to reach other women to get that pick me up that you need when you're going through, when you feel like you're going to walk off a ledge, when you feel like you don't care about life anymore and you simply want to throw your hands up and just give up on everything. This network is so supportive. There is so much love and so much encouragement that comes from it. And I'm just so grateful to stand among these amazing women. They are all completely phenomenal. Um, a little bit about my background and my chapter. It's called A Minute with Mama. Um, I was diagnosed with a superbug in 2020, March of 2020. It's quite a mouthful. It's called CRE for short, but it is carbapenem resistant interbacteriales. Um, it's a disease and an infection that resists most antibiotics. You can only get three in the entire world that will work for it. The death rate is at 50% for people that are infected and they don't make it. I thank God that I'm among the 50% that did, that He leaned in my direction, that He gave me another opportunity to be here to share my story. And it's taken some time, but the women in my life have told me along the way, you know, when you need to tell your story, you know, when you need to put your testimony out there. And for me, the time has come to share that in the event that there is another person out there going through that simply doesn't know what to do or that has gotten to a place to where they want to give up. I've been strained mentally and financially and physically from the things that I've suffered, but from where I began and the transformation to where I am now has been phenomenal. And I'll also tell you guys a little about that on tomorrow. Um, Right now, I'm deemed disabled. I work part time in Web3, and I'll tell you about those positions tomorrow. But it's basically just being a positive light, being a leadership from people coming from mainstream into Web3 to help them understand it, and simply loving on people. I am sort of a community motivator, a motivator. For me, um, motivation is key. Putting some light out there every day is key. Even if it's just a smile or a simple word or giving somebody on the street, you know, a bottle of water to help them keep on going. Um, I don't know surrender and give up and quit. And certainly the women that stand with me don't know surrender and give up and quit. We won't give up on ourselves. We won't let go. We will always stand for ourselves. And when we feel like we're falling, we have a plethora of women standing beside us and with us to grab us and help us to remain and get our feet back on solid ground. Um, there really aren't words to describe these women and this journey and how much it means to me to have been chosen to participate, to write my story and share that, and to be with and around women that, to me, every story, regardless of what you've been through or where you are or where you're from, it's a story. I don't feel like anybody's story is any worse or better than another person's story. I feel like we've been put in positions that we were created to be in. A lot of times people say, you don't understand my praise. if you don't know my story. And it's because we each have to walk our own path. And when you're walking those paths along the way in life, I want you guys to remember that you can make it, that you are enough all by yourself, that sometimes even when you feel like surrendering or giving up, you are absolutely going to find some light at the end of that journey if you just hold on, if you just keep on pushing and keep on going through. My goal every day is basically just to love others as much as I love myself, to shine a light, regardless of race or creed or religion or disability or whatever pronoun you carry, or whatever category people or places or things decide that they want to set you in, so that you become a statistic that you're not. You're enough. You're enough all by yourself. And you can make it through these life altering situations when you lose people, when you go through health crises and financial crises that feel like they're going to break you down to the ground. Um, I will put my contact information inside of the chat once we've concluded, but I just want to say thank you, let you know that you're loved, that you're appreciated, that we are always here, we are women that are reaching back and bringing other women along with us. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. And thank you so much for your support.
Lachey, listen, you are the epitome of a phenomenal woman. And I want to read some of the comments to you that are in the chat. But I think it's important that everyone understands that there are women, not just women, men. There are people that might have been through or have to go through what you've been through and have not survived and will not survive or cannot survive or doesn't have the fortitude to survive. So when I say that we're bringing phenomenal women to the stage, you are absolutely phenomenal. You are operating in your gift and still ministering and serving and blessing other women and families, even with what you have gone through and whatever. And you'll hear more about Lachey's story tomorrow, but what you went through didn't stop you.
I couldn't allow Monique, when you have a physician standing in front of you, a lot of times we hear, when a surgery, like a major surgery happens, it's a 50-50%, but we are not ready to hear that from an infection that you stand a 50-50 chance at life. And in the event that the 3 antibiotics in the world can't cure you, then it's kind of kaput. You're out of here. You're checking out. And I mean, either you're going to lay down and die or you're going to get up and fight. And I decided that I was going to fight. I can't imagine what my children went through and my family, um, you know, having to decide life for me. I'll go into detail tomorrow when I speak on some of the things that happened, but um, it was a journey for them. It broke them when some people were saying, yes, she's still fighting. We're not going to give up. We're going to continue to pray. I had others in the family saying, you need to prepare for the worst. You need to make arrangements. It's just time. And, to be on the opposite sides of that quarter as a child, for any parent, whether it's a mother or a father, you've got some people telling you just keep fighting with her, and you've got others saying it's over. You need to prepare for the worst. I can't imagine the position that it puts a person in. I certainly would never want to be there to decide that for my mother or for my father. And these situations that we have to deal with sometimes break us. I could say one thing, I'll give just a little bit of me, and some of the things that I've struggled with along the way was fighting the disease, learning new things again. from a female standpoint, we look at our identity a little different from men. So when I had all of these devices connected up to me, I didn't feel beautiful anymore. I didn't feel strong anymore. When I got to a place to where I was told I would have to wear adult briefs, I was like, you know what? I'll be so glad when this is over so I can just get back to panties. Because I can't imagine as a female having to have a conversation with a man or your partner, whatever the preference is, and telling them, you know, we may wake up in stool. We may wake up and I've got an accident. I don't know what day we may wake up and this disease that there is no cure for comes back. And I need to know that I know that I know that you're the type of person that's going to stand with me through the hospital visits, through all the therapy, through my accidents, through me not being perfect, through me having scars all over my skin from having 17 major surgeries. And a lot of times, you know, we're unsure simply about having a conversation, much less than, you know, wondering, will somebody understand me? Am I capable of being loved again with all of these issues that I have? Who understands somebody who has to take 40 pills a day to maintain on top of shots? Are they ready to take that journey with you? And as a woman, even the strongest of us, when we face those trials, we don't know. You know, it starts to concern us. We start to wonder, you know, am I enough? So anybody out there that's going through something, your health crisis, your financial crisis, whatever it is, know that you are enough. Know
Amen.
that you will make it through, and know that the people that are in your life that love you, that respect you, that have your back, they're going to be with you whether you're in panties or if you're in an adult brief. If you have an accident or if you don't have an accident, the days you're in a wheelchair and when you finally get back to where you're walking on your feet. I just learned to walk again January of this year from way back in 2020. At the time, I didn't know that I would be able to. At the time, I wondered, okay, how am I going to do this at 46? And just do a total restart. But like I said, tomorrow I'll tell you more about that and how that happened. But I want you all to know that I love you. May God bless you. And may you always stay encouraged. Monique, thank you so much. And to my sisters out there, thank you so very much.
Lachey, thank you so much for being an inspiration. We have Rhonda said, phenomenal woman. Love you, sis. Absolutely. They need to hear your story from Tracy. Thyra says, your story of survival and healing is inspirational. On Facebook, we have, my God, praises are due. We have
Amen.
another comment. To God be the glory once again. Phenomenal, sis. God is allowing you to be written in a book like the book, the Bible, where there's a story of a woman who was defined with an issue of blood, but she, like you, shows how our Lord is able to heal, deliver, and shows who our Lord is. The Lord is displaying yet another phenomenal woman in and through your journey. Thanks for allowing God to use you. And when I say you have stepped up to the plate and you are blessing many women, you have a story, you have agreed to share it, you will. There are women that will be inspired to not give up, Lachey, to not give up because of you,
Thank you so much. And thank you.
because of the story. So thank you so much for that. Thank you, everyone. Look, I just want to thank everyone for being a part of the summit today, the Phenomenal Woman Summit. And when I say it comes from my heart, because we bring absolutely phenomenal women to the stage that have gone through some insurmountable things, things that others might not have been able to survive. And not only are they living it and surviving it, they're willing to share their story through speaking, through writing. They're willing to have their voice heard. So as we move on to our final speaker of today for the Phenomenal Woman Summit, one of our Sister Inspire Sister Network members. I call her my BFF bestie. I call this sister right here. We connected and we've been connected ever since. We never unconnect. We look, we talk, we text, we speak to each other, and it's all started through social media. And when we connected through social media, because we ended up in the same group, we didn't realize how many years that we had already been friends. So one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is connect with a sister. Look at some of your friends on social media who you don't really know and send them a message and connect. So I need everyone that's still here. First of all, thank you for hanging in with us. We are on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We are on YouTube. Everyone, of course, that are on the StreamYard broadcast. When the broadcast is over, you can go back to YouTube. Please share and invite others to be a part of the summit. We are coming back tomorrow. But I need you to put some fire emojis in the chat. I need you to say fire, fire, fire. I need you to get ready for the world's number one. The world's number one. Look, we're going to put it out. The world's number one fire speaker and trainer, member of the SIS network, multiple award-winning author, okay? The number one speaker trainer. And when I say that, this sister right here will take you, you might start speaking one way. By the time you finish that program, okay, you'll be dropping several mics. But I'm just going to go ahead and move on out the way, turn the stage over to my sister, Angela Brand. Angela, thank you so much for always saying yes, and the stage is yours.
Oh, look, you guys, I just want to pause right now. I just want y'all to give it up for my sister, my BFF, Monique Davis Denton. Look, I'm so super excited for the SIS Network. I'm so super excited for the Phenomenal Woman book that is releasing soon. I'm so super excited that you guys have showed up. I'm so super excited for all you guys who are listening. I need y'all to get y'all pens. I need y'all to sit on the edge of y'all seat. And I was walking through the dining room this morning. I say, Lord, what do you want to say to your people? What do you want to say to your women of this Phenomenal Woman Summit? And he said, look, I want you to give them 4 things they need to embrace phenomenal womanhood coming up in this next season. Because sometimes we wake up, we don't feel phenomenal. Sometimes we go through so many different things in our life, we don't feel phenomenal. Sometimes when we check our bank accounts, we don't feel phenomenal. Sometimes when we look over, we land next to, we don't always feel like that phenomenal woman. So I want to give y'all these 4 things. And those of you know that I'm going to give you the 4 elements of what I call fire. You can build your business from this. You can your speaking, your coaching, you can write in this blueprint, and I call it the fire blueprint to success, to build their business, to become the world's number one, training students all over the world, traveling the world, the higher women empowerment tour, the number one platform for female empowerment, inspiring new speakers, and all those amazing things. Stomach, my fire is bubbling. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. But before I start, I need you just to put in the chat. I need you to make a public declaration that there is a phenomenal woman inside of me. There is a phenomenal woman on the inside of me. There is a phenomenal woman on the inside of me. I don't care where you are geographically. I don't care where you are in the world, where you are in your life. You may be in a transition. You may be coming out of some things. You may be going into some things. You may be stuck or feel stuck or where you are right now. But I need you to say, there is a phenomenal woman on the inside of me. Come on. There is a phenomenal right now that there is a woman on the inside of you, and I that up inside of. So when you go to work tomorrow, when you go to church on Sunday, when you step into your business, when you step into the room with your clients, the next time you step on the stage, I want you to know that there is a phenomenal woman on the inside of you. So there's no more holding back. There's no more dumbing down to fit in other people's boxes of you. There's no more keeping your mouth closed because you don't want to offend anybody. You don't want to feel like you're the smartest person in the room. I need you to know there's a phenomenal woman on the inside of you. And I pulled up the poem as I listened to SIS poem, my spirit is going a little bit. It said, walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, the fellow stands and he fall down to their knees. They are warm around you like hives of bunny feet. I say, it's the fire in my eyes. And I want to add to that, it's the fire in my belly. It's the fire in my hands. It's the fire in my mouth. It's the fire in my eyes. It is because of the fire that when I walk into a room or when you enter any room, that the atmosphere shifts, the atmosphere changes because of the fire on the inside of you, phenomenal woman. So the fire blueprint success is what I use to train my clients to hit on each, whether it's virtual, whether it's live, to show up when the clients, they're coaching the clients, they're mentoring, whether they're writing their book. It's the fire blueprint that I teach from, train from, and speak from. So let's get into this F of the fire blueprint. It's a woman's feminine energy. In this poem, Maya Angelou talks about the feminine energy, of how a room shifts when a woman walks into a room. And sometimes we are in a place of our life that we don't understand how to use this feminine energy to build your business, to show up in relationships, to show up in the world. This feminine energy can literally change the trajectory of your life when you begin to tap into it. I'm not talking about that you going in as if you have to do something to prove who you are. This feminine energy is about the essence of your being as a wombed woman, as a woman with the womb, as a woman with the incubator on the inside of her, a woman that can take an idea and literally birth it from heaven into earth. I'm talking about a woman who knows her superpower, a woman that don't have to prove who she is, but she stands and owns and commands every room, every stage that she walks on. This feminine energy is literally the energy that God used to create the heavens and the earth. Let me speak a thing and it shall be established. This type of feminine energy, when a woman tap into it, that means there is no lack in her life. There is no things that she have to reach for. There is no void in her life. But this feminine energy is a creation energy. That means you are a co-creator. So if you are going through anything coming into your phenomenal womanhood, I need you to stop right now and I need you to speak into it. I need you to say, lack, you have to be a phenomenal woman on the inside of me. Destruction, you need to leave because there's a phenomenal woman on the inside of me. I need you to speak to every element in your house, around you. Every element has to bow when you begin to speak from this feminine energy. You are co-creating with God. That means there's a supernatural power on the inside of you as a woman, even in building your business. If you feel I can't get clients, speak into the atmosphere, command the clients to come to you. Speak into whatever thing that you have in your life and say, there is a phenomenal woman on the inside of me, and I'm going to rise up and take my position and stand in this feminine energy, knowing that everything that I stand in need of needs me. Everything that I want needs me. Why? Because I am a phenomenal women. And phenomenal women are feminine women. Phenomenal women are women that know and exude this feminine energy. That means if you want to be a better woman, that means you tap into this feminine energy. Come on, tap in the chat. There's a phenomenal woman on the inside of me, embracing this feminine energy, showing it as a woman, embracing your womanhood. The second thing I want you to understand, a woman is very important. She had a phenomenal woman. I speak of impact, knowing that the words that I say carries authority, knowing that the words that I say can shift any atmosphere, knowing that the words that I say, the elements of this earth have to bow down, because when I speak, And when I'm speaking the word of God, I'm speaking to impact those that are listening. So look, phenomenal women, I need you to understand that the impact that's waiting to come forth out of your voice, there is an impact in your voice that is waiting to be unleashed. And now is not the time for you to say, I'm not enough. Now is not the time for you to say, God, you didn't call me. Now is definitely the time where phenomenal up and speak out and declare now not just her household, but her community, not just her community, but the state, not just the state, but the surrounding states, not just this state, but the United States and states abroad, but not just the United States, my sister. We're talking about a global impact. We're talking about a global shift. And this next shift, I believe God is using up women, phenomenal women in this particular SIS network to go abroad and impact those around you. I need you to know that your story matters. I need you to know that you matter, Black woman, phenomenal woman. I need you to rise up and say, today is the day that I walk in my level of impact. Today is the day I use my voice to impact nations. Today is the day I begin to speak up and speak life. So now we got this feminine energy. We definitely have this impact. But now, phenomenal women, that she have riches on the inside of her. I need you to know, phenomenal woman, that there is riches on the inside of you. Riches that's not connected to this world, but the riches that you have inside of you is eternal. Come on now. You're rich in spirit. You're rich in knowledge. You're rich in wealth. You're rich in productivity. Everything about you is rich. And when you tap into the riches, which are your gifts and your talents on the inside of you, that means everything that you stand in need has to open. That means the doors that was once closed have to open. Why? Because you have rich substance, you have rich attitude, you have a rich mindset, you have a rich posture, you have riches on the inside of you. I need you to put in the chat, I'm a phenomenal woman and I'm tapping into my riches. And my riches is not connected to the thing. My riches is not connected to the house that I live in, the car that I drive, but the riches on inside of me. So therefore, come on, your next 5 clients going to pay you because of riches. Your next 10 speaking engagements going to be because of the riches you provide. Come on, when you tap into your riches, there is no lack in your life because you're not created with God. You can turn to those riches and give the people what they need here. Come on, phenomenal women, phenomenal women, phenomenal women. So the fourth thing, this is the thing that's going to bring and drive this thing home. Phenomenal women know, which is the E, that I have to show up extraordinary everywhere I go. So I need you to put in the chat that I am extraordinary. I am extraordinary. And the definition of phenomenal is so very important. It says that a person that is remarkable, a person that is extraordinary. So that means, come on, my sister, that means when you put on your clothes, you got to put on your clothes like you are an extraordinary woman. You need to put on your makeup like you're an extraordinary woman. Because it was a phenomenal woman summit, I had to dial myself up. I have looked the part. Why? Because I'm phenomenal. I just don't go anywhere looking any type of way. I need to show up extraordinary. I need to go up commanding the walking in my God-given authority as a feminine woman, as an impactful woman, as a rich woman, and as a woman that everywhere I go, everywhere I speak, I have to speak in an extraordinary way. I have to show up in an extraordinary way. Why? Because I serve an extraordinary God, and that declares that I show up extraordinary. That means I'm not coming like any other common speaker. That means I'm not coming like any other common woman, because I am a phenomenal woman, and phenomenal women show up and show out everywhere she goes. So I need you to understand that the phenomenal woman on the inside of you, she's waiting to come forth. She's waiting to set this world ablaze. She's waiting to speak with fire. She's waiting to coach with fire. She's waiting to write with fire, because she knows that she is phenomenal, and your legacy is phenomenal. Your legacy is so important that the next generation is waiting for you to tap into the phenomenal life. So I need you to put in the chat that in this next season, in this season right now, that's going to prepare me for my next season. That means I have to really show up phenomenal. We have written in the chapters, we have read the poem, we have done all those things. Now it's time for you to show up as you has written. Now it's time for you to show up as you open for your words to meet your actions. Now it's time for that prophetic declaration that's been spoken over your life to meet your right now. And I just want to your life that the phenomenal woman on the inside of you is nothing compared to what you have been through. It's nothing compared that your eyes have seen, that your ears have already heard. The phenomenal woman that's waiting to come forth in you in this next season will be better than ever. She's going to be stronger than ever. She's going to be more wiser than ever. She's going to be more richer than ever. She's going to be a woman that is a force to be reckoned with. Come on, I need you to look at the things in your life right now, and I need you to declare to them if they don't line up with your dreams, if they don't line up with the word that God has spoken over your life. I need you to say, I need you to leave it immediately, because there's a phenomenal woman that is birthing on the inside of me. Look, the lack. There's a phenomenal woman coming, and she's walking with fire. There's a woman. There's a torch in her hand. She's waiting to pass the fire down to the next generation. I don't know about you, but I want, when people hear my name, I need them to say, that girl left a trail of fire behind her. I need them to say at my memorial service that I don't know about you, but I know AB, she showed up in fire. She spoke a fiery word in my life. I don't want to leave this earth full of the gifts and the talent I place on the inside of me, but I want to live full and I want to die empty. I need you to speak that phenomenal women know how to leave a legacy that I can pass down, that when I lay my life down to the Lord, I can say that I've done everything that God has commissioned me to do. I've done everything that God spoke me to do, because I know I'm a phenomenal woman, and if he gave it to me, then it shall be established. If he gave it to me, that I shall live it, I shall have it, I shall achieve it in this life. I need you to know that you shall achieve it in this life. So if you are that inspiring speaker, if you are that speaker that's looking to improve, if you are that coach, if you are the author, that female entrepreneur, I need you to know that it's more than what you live in, because you got to know that there's a phenomenal woman that's waiting to come out of me. There's a phenomenal woman in my daughter. There's a phenomenal woman in my mother. There's a phenomenal woman. And I have to be the example of what a phenomenal woman lives, breathes, think, speak those things. So look, I need you to understand today, on December the 2nd, 2022, the phenomenal woman on the inside of you is more powerful than you can ever realize. It's more anointed than you can ever realize. So I need you to say with me, my sisters, that I am a feminine woman. I am an impactful woman. I am a rich woman. I am an extraordinary woman. Why? Because I am phenomenal. And phenomenal woman, that's me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. There's a phenomenal woman on the inside of you.
I can't even talk. Okay. And that's hard for me. Listen, let me just read some of the comments in the chat. We have the fire emojis, and she did it again. Speechless. Okay. In this life, I am a phenomenal woman, more powerful, more anointed, more impactful, live full and die empty, stronger and wiser, leave and exit empty, stronger, wiser, a force to be reckoned with. Listen, there's just nothing left to say. There is just nothing left to say. What I want to do, first of all, sister, thank you. There are no surprises in how you deliver, because it is who you are, and it is what you do, and it is what's inside of you. So thank you so much for blessing us Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being the phenomenal woman and sister that you are, for just really pouring into us and closing out the summit. I want you, you already know. You already know how we work together. You already know how I feel about you. And you come every single time and you show up, you show out, and your ministry is present and you bless the audience in every single thing that you do. So I just want to say thank you. You're absolutely a phenomenal woman. Listen, we had a day today. You can go back and listen to the replay on Facebook in the Sisters Inspire Sisters private Facebook group. You can go in. You can also go to YouTube. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Sisters Inspire Sisters, hit the subscribe button, share with other women. And also, if you're interested in, if you're ready, okay, if you're ready to walk into your fire, if you're ready to become purposely positioned, if you're ready to share your story, to share your voice, to look at those talents and let those talents develop into what it is that you were anointed to do, it's time for you to connect with some like-minded sisters. Again, my name is Monique, Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for part 2. Have a great, great rest of the day.